It's been, if I'm honest, a very challenging year.
Yes.
Full of very convoluted feelings and conflicting emotions where sometimes I'm just really joyous and happy, and then other times I'm really angry and sad.
My mom gets called a. They say that she's money hungry. They say that she needs more fame. My mom doesn't, that's not how my mom is.
There is one book that we are not reading in 2025, and it is Allison Holker's memoir and her love letter to her late husband, Stephen Twitch Boss. Because what do you mean that you went into his private journals you never read when he was alive?
Twitch's story just took a wild turn after leaked footage, suspicious behavior, and shady moves have people pointing fingers at his wife, Allison Holker, from NDAs at his funeral to her sketchy actions right after his passing. It's looking like this isn't just grief, it's a whole conspiracy, and if that wasn't enough, people are starting to wonder if Twitch's demise was more about her bank account than anything else. Let's break it all the way down. The NDA scandal, a greedy move. All this started with Allison Holker's decision to slap NDAs on Twitch's family before they could even attend his funeral. Allegedly, these non-disclosure agreements weren't just about privacy. They were designed to control the narrative. And more importantly, the money. According to reports, Allison made Twitch's family sign NDAs that prevented them from profiting off his name, legacy, or any media projects tied to his life story. This wasn't just a don't speak to the press kind of deal. If his family earned even a penny from interviews, books, or articles about Twitch, the terms required them to hand over the money to Allison.
Whether or not she did or did not find something in the closet, it was not her place to share those details about him.
Profiting from Twitch's legacy. What makes this even messier is that Allison didn't stop at controlling Twitch's family. She went all in on profiting from his legacy herself. While she claims 100% of the proceeds from her memoir will go to the move with foundation, people aren't buying it. Twitch's family has accused her of tarnishing his memory with false claims, including allegations that she found substances belonging to him after his passing.
We're cleaning out the closet and picking out an outfit for him for the funeral. And it was a really triggering moment for me because there was a lot of things I discovered in our closet that I did not know existed.
It's hard not to see a pattern here. From NDAs to questionable narratives, Allison's every move seems to revolve around her security, financial control. The family is now calling her a money-hungry opportunist who's exploiting Twitch's tragic passing for her own gain, tarnishing Twitch's legacy. The NDA fiasco was just the tip of the iceberg. Twitch's family has been vocal about how Allison's actions have negatively impacted his legacy by forcing them into silence. She's not only isolated them, but also ensured she remains the sole voice, shaping how Twitch is remembered. Her memoir, which supposedly paints Twitch in a negative light, has been particularly controversial. Critics argue that she's more focused on rewriting history to suit her narrative than honoring the man Twitch truly was, a kind, loving, and talented individual.
I started jotting things down, but it is interesting when you're on this healing journey, and the journey that I've been on is things were being discovered or new things, or I was having new aha moments. So I would be writing this book and then have to be like, wait, go back, this is different for me.
Twitch's mother fires back at Allison's claims. And it's not just fans and CR who are calling Allison out. Twitch's own mother, Connie Boss Alexander, has officially stepped in to defend her son's legacy. Following the uproar over Allison's memoir and the NDAs, Connie took to Instagram with a heartfelt and firm response, making it clear that she's had enough.
Twitch's own family is coming out to slam her in these revelations, and also talking about how she made the entire family, including Twitch's mom, sign an NDA so she could keep all of the details for this memoir.
Representing the Boss family, Connie expressed her outrage over what she described as misleading and hurtful claims being spread about Twitch. While she didn't name Allison directly, the message was loud and clear. The family feels these allegations are tarnishing Twitch's memory in the worst way. In her emotional post, she stated, "Our family is absolutely appalled by the misleading and hurtful claims made about my son Stephen Boss." For Connie, the idea that Twitch's struggles are being sensationalized for public gain crosses every line of decency. It's a direct challenge to Allison's portrayal of events and a plea to honor Twitch's legacy without any false claims the real intentions behind the NDAs. Here's where it gets really shady. NDAs are typically used to protect sensitive information. But in this case, it feels like a power move to block Twitch's family from speaking their truth. The timing is also suspect. Why would you need NDAs at a funeral unless there's something you don't want people to find out? According to Allison, the NDAs were about maintaining Steven Twitch boss's privacy and dignity. She claims that Twitch's family wanted to invite numerous people to the open casket portion of the funeral, many of whom she didn't know. To minimize the risk of photos or videos leaking to the media, she reduced the guest list to just 13 people and implemented strict rules. I couldn't risk any photo getting leaked to the press or splashed across social media platforms and becoming the lasting image that people would have of him, she explained. She also added that her primary concern was her children, saying, "My children absolutely positively could not stumble upon such a photograph at some later date." Allison says her lawyers advised her to require NDAs from everyone attending the funeral, which understandably frustrated Twitch's family. "If we have to sign NDAs," they reportedly said, "then everybody has to sign NDAs." To that, Elysian replied, "No problem." While Allison frames her decision as an effort to protect her family, critics argue it feels like overreach. Her reasoning might sound convincing on the surface, but when paired with the financial clauses in the NDAs, it raises serious questions. If she truly wanted to protect Twitch's legacy, why not let his family share their memories and stories? Instead, she's painted herself as the gatekeeper, deciding who gets to speak and profit from his name. But Allison isn't staying quiet amid the backlash. Taking to her Instagram stories, she defended her decisions and the claims she made in her book. She wrote to fans of Steven and our family and friends, "I want to be clear that my only intention in writing the book is to share my own story as well as part of my life with Steven to help other people." Allison further explained that she's still trying to make sense of what happened, adding, "Just like you, I never really knew what happened. And even as I am trying to put the pieces together, I will never really know." While Allison's words may sound heartfelt to some, most people aren't convinced. Leaked call from Twitch's brother. One of the most damning pieces of evidence comes from a leaked audio recording shared by one of Twitch's siblings. In the recording, Allison Holker can be heard justifying her decision to make Twitch's mother sign a non-disclosure agreement before viewing his body.
You realize that Steven left. So when you say
what do you mean Steven left? Hold on. What do you mean Steven left?
Steven would want the family to see his kids. He could have stayed.
Don't say that.
Helped.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Yes, no, I'm allowed to.
No, you ain't allowed to say no stupid like
Also,
that.
the other side of
You ain't allowed to say no stupid like that, man. That's up. What you mean he could have stayed?
In the clip, the sibling questions Holker, asking if she truly thought it was appropriate to require Twitch's grieving mother to sign an NDA just to say goodbye. Hooker's response was chillingly matter-of-fact, "And I would do it again every single day for the rest of my life if I needed to." This wasn't where it stopped either. Holker went on to defend her actions by claiming that Twitch's mother had previously signed NDAs to attend events, as if that made the situation normal. She reportedly said it wasn't unusual. She signed NDA before to come to parties. So why not for this? Control or grief? Twitch's sibling didn't hold back during the call, accusing Holker of disrespecting their family and using the NDAs as a way to control the narrative. They also suggested that Allison's actions seemed more about protecting herself than honoring Twitch or his family, and honestly, it's hard not to agree. The idea that Holker compared signing an NDA to attend a party with signing one to view a loved one's body feels not only cold, but calculated. The bang bang revelation. Here's where the story takes a chilling turn. Twitch's friends and family are now pointing out something that raises even more suspicion. The weapon used in his tragic passing might have actually belonged to Allison. That detail alone has people questioning everything, and if that wasn't enough, rumors are swirling that Twitch wasn't the one dealing with substance issues. It was Allison all along. But the plot thickens after Twitch's sudden death. Reports claimed he left behind a note, a piece of paper that could have provided clarity, closure, or even answers. Yet somehow that note has vanished into thin air. Nobody seems to know what happened to it. leaving Twitch's loved ones and the public with even more questions.
Even a lot of people knew him as Twitch. Very two different humans. He wore this character of Twitch. It did become a part of who he was, but that extroverted personality was not natural for him.
Then there's Allison's behavior after the tragedy. While she claimed to have been unaware of Twitch's whereabouts for hours, her actions spoke differently. She quickly changed her social media handles and removed Twitch's last name just 2 days after his death. That's not the behavior of someone mourning a loss. It's more like someone who's ready to move on at lightning speed. To make matters even darker, whispers of conspiracy have begun circulating. Some believe Allison may have conspired with powerful figures like Ellen and Diddy to silence Twitch permanently, ensuring that certain truths never come to light.
Is it Diddy today? Because sometimes you're Puffy and sometimes you're Diddy. Or sometimes you're Daddy. What are you today?
I'm so confused today with it. As long as you say it in a nice way.
All right.
Just like,
Yeah. Diddy.
this right here is the new Ciroc mango.
The daughter is strange. Behavior now, let's talk about Allison's daughter. For context, Twitch adopted her when she was just 3 or 4 years old and raised her like his own. But in a recent video, this girl referred to Twitch's mom by her first name and implied Twitch was hiding secrets.
I just feel like things needs to be addressed, and I'd rather it come from me to defend my family than like anybody else, just because I feel like it's important.
In a viral Instagram live, Wesley spoke about the controversial NDAs that were required for those attending Twitch's funeral. She framed the NDAs as a way to protect Twitch's privacy, particularly to prevent any unauthorized photos from being shared publicly. However, her defense of the NDAs didn't sit well with everyone, especially given her casual references to Twitch instead of referring to him as Dad. She repeatedly used his first name, which many found odd and even disrespectful considering their history.
The person that I would see when he came home from work with, we lived in the same 4 walls. And now I'm getting hate for him leaving. And I don't get it. It's hurtful.
Beyond her choice of words, Wesley also implied that Twitch may have been hiding secrets, further complicating the narrative. This left people speculating whether her perspective was genuinely her own or influenced by Allison's ongoing attempts to control the narrative surrounding Twitch's legacy. Many saw this as yet another example of deflecting attention from Allison's actions and decisions in the aftermath of Twitch's passing. Hints of manipulation. Even more unsettling were Wesley's comments about Twitch allegedly having a dark side. She implied he was hiding secrets, but no evidence backs up those claims. People are speculating that these ideas didn't come from Wesley herself, but were planted by Allison to deflect from her own questionable actions.
My mom never said that Steven was an addict. Let me say that. Never said that he was an addict. But if y'all want to take a headline for a news article and turn that into being the thing that you're paying attention to most, that's literally on you.
It's hard to ignore the timing. Just as Allison faces mounting backlash over her handling of Twitch's legacy and finances, her daughter suddenly takes to social media to defend her, while subtly throwing Twitch under the bus. These are all people that I've grown up with, Wesley said during her Instagram live, referring to Twitch's family. I speak to Steven's moms, like my mom and her were speaking weekly at some point. She also admitted that since Twitch's death, she's seen his family more. But here's the kicker. Why would someone so close to Twitch's family use language that distances herself from him?
He'd be open and vulnerable about him smoking weed. Also, my mom's not calling him a terrible person for smoking weed. Guys, let's get it together.
Backlash and confusion. The internet has been quick to call out the strange behavior. Many feel Wesley is being used as a pawn in Allison's ongoing attempt to control the narrative. One user commented, "She's calling him by his first name like she's one of her friends." Another wrote, "Calling her mom and him by his first name tells me everything I need to know." Wesley's behavior has left people wondering where a 16-year-old got those ideas. Here's another wild detail. Twitch's family and friends have come forward, saying he had a loving relationship with his family. They describe him as a kind, gentle soul. Basically, the complete opposite of how Allison's trying to paint him money moves or grief. Let's dive into the financial side of this whole situation, because it's not just about grief, it's about money too. Twitch was undeniably the main breadwinner for the family, and his sudden passing didn't just leave an emotional void, it left a financial one. But here's where it gets messy. Allison's actions in the months following his death have sparked serious questions about her motives from selling their family home to gaining control of Twitch's estate. It's looking less like mourning and more like money moves. One of the biggest red flags was Allison's decision to sell the Anino home she shared with Twitch just 10 months after his death. This wasn't just any house. It was a stunning 4,600 feet estate worth $3.79 million, complete with 6 bedrooms, a pool, a hot tub, and an open floor plan. A dream home, right? But selling it so soon after Twitch's passing raised eyebrows, especially given the ongoing tension with his family. Was it a fresh start? Or was it all about cashing in? Many fans and insiders believe it's the latter, especially since Allison hasn't directly addressed the backlash surrounding the sale.
What came with that decision when you decided to sell that home that you all lived in as a family?
You know, that home was our security blanket for a really long time. Yeah. But it did take a turn. And a lot of people don't talk about that after grief, is like, I was holding on to these past emotions thinking it was saving me, but it started to swallow us.
Then there's the matter of Twitch's estate. Just months after his passing, Allison gained legal control over half of his assets. Court documents revealed that in February, she filed a California spousal property petition to prove her marriage to Twitch in the absence of a will. By June, the court had ruled in her favor, granting her rights to half of Twitch's earnings from his work as a choreographer-producer. And more. This included shares in Stephen Boss Productions, his Goldman Sachs investment account, and royalties from Disney Worldwide Services and cast and crew production services.
Stephen Twitch Boss's wife, Allison Holker, has been granted half of his artist's earnings after the dancer died without a will. According to documents obtained by ET, a judge from the Superior Court of California in LA County signed off on Allison's request for the spousal property petition she filed earlier this year.
And let's not forget, Twitch's brother Dre has openly accused Allison of being opportunistic. These moves, selling the home and gaining control of his estate, only add fuel to the fire to his friend's family, and even fans. This doesn't look like the actions of a grieving widow. It feels calculated, like she's trying to secure the bag at any cost. What makes this even more concerning is the timing of it all. While Allison was busy rebranding herself and gaining financial control, Twitch's friends were calling for his death to be reinvestigated. And let's not forget, Allison's trying to paint Twitch as someone he clearly wasn't. Toxicology reports showed he had no drugs or alcohol in his system, directly contradicting her claims. Family fallout. Twitch's cousin speaks out. It's not just Twitch's friends and brother calling out Allison. His cousin Darielle has officially entered the chat, and she's not pulling any punches. Darielle took to social media recently and completely aired out her frustrations with how Allison's been handling everything since Twitch's passing. And let me tell you, her words hit hard. Darielle accused Allison of mistreating. Darielle went on to say that Allison has actively restricted the Boss family from seeing Twitch's kids, creating even more tension.
A woman who claims to be his cousin, Twitch's cousin, said this: yeah, I don't give a F about an NDA. This crazy woman made me and his entire family, including, sign an NDA just to even attend the funeral.
And it doesn't stop there. Darielle also accused Allison of trying to tarnish Twitch's legacy for her own personal gain. She straight up called her out, saying, "Only to exploit and lie on my cousin. Hell no. If you thought the backlash against Allison couldn't get any worse," Daryl's decision to speak out has taken the drama to another level. Here is one of his cousins. "She won't let our family see the kids. He wasn't an addict. He smoked weed and was actively trying to quit. He wasn't some junkie," is what the response was. Her frustrations have struck a chord with many fans who are now questioning even more about Allison's intentions. The public turns on Allison as more details come to light. public opinion has taken a sharp turn against Allison. Social media is flooded with posts questioning her. Every move from the NDAs to the way she's handling Twitch's legacy. And the daughter people feel sorry for her, but also see her as a pawn in Allison's game. It's like the entire family dynamic is built on manipulation. At the end of the day, there are just two. Many unanswered questions. Why did Allison push NDAs at the funeral? Why is the daughter suddenly speaking out against Twitch? And most importantly, why does it feel like Allison is benefiting more from Twitch's death than she ever did from his life? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and while you're here, smash that like and subscribe button for the latest updates. Don't forget to check out the next video on your end screen. It's even more revealing than this one.